Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast, a deep dive into all things Disney Vacation Club. We share tips, tricks, and insider info, helping you make the most of your membership. Join us for the latest news, reviews, and interviews with DVC experts and enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned DVC member or considering your first contract, this podcast is for you. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Hurley and Gary Arruda.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. This is episode 30, recorded in the D. Fauntleroy Recording Studios in Sarasota, Florida, and Cranston, Rhode Island. I'm your host, Mike in Florida, joined by my cousin and co-host, Gary up in Rhode Island. Good evening, Gary.
Michael, how are you today?
I'm doing well. See that Eugene was able to take down and reassemble the studio after last week you were off campus for a few days.
Back home. Back to the normal studio.
You had nothing planned this weekend? Because Kristen asked me, you record? I'm like, we record it every Sunday unless otherwise noted. And she said, well, it's a long weekend. They might be up in New Hampshire. I'm like, well, I haven't heard anything, so.
No, we don't go in the winter.
That's right, because it's rented to skiers, right?
And I'm working tomorrow anyway. The girls don't have school, but Sarah and I both have to work tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's school vacation week.
It's February vacation.
Yep.
Yeah, because tomorrow's President's Day. Susie has tomorrow off.
I was thinking of booking a trip for next year for this week. I know it's crazy down
Disney
there,
trip?
but yeah.
Yeah, it's too many points. You're cheap, aren't you?
Oh, February's more points than like July? I thought it was the same window.
No, it's pretty jacked up because of
the vacations.
Yeah. Still not a bad play, though, to get down here that time of year.
I'll have to check. I'll look and see. I like going in the summer. I know people think it's crazy,
I love it in the summer. It was great when we met you up there in July.
Mm-hmm. What do we have on the agenda today, Pards?
Well, we're going to talk a little food.
Ooh, I like that.
We're going to talk about some overlooked restaurants on DVC property.
Overlooked. Can I, before we get into that,
can
I say that our good friend Robert Ferrari's website is going to cost me either a lot of money or my marriage real soon?
Which one are you rooting for?
I don't know. Whichever comes first, I guess.
Members who listen, anyways. What you saying? A big fat contract and a divorce might be. What's going on? Talk to me.
There's just a ton. I think people aren't. I think this is like dumping time. People are doing their taxes. They're seeing these dues rack up. There's a lot of very attractive contracts coming across. I saw a 75-point poly for like $150 a point. It was listed.
Remember when that thing was up in the 190s right before they were going to start releasing their direct sales?
I saw one. It's already gone. I think it was a Saratoga contract for 100 loaded. So this year had 200 points, and it was like 94 a point.
$9,400 for a 100-point contract?
Yeah, loaded too.
Loaded.
There's a lot of very attractive ones getting put up.
There's absolutely. I'm in the same boat. There's no way I can talk Susie out not going to France next year to get another contract, right? I mean,
no, you got to go to France. I think your best bet is going to France and then getting another contract.
So what do we do? Like, kind of do a big trip every other year and then buy a contract every other year?
That's not a bad play. Fair? That sounds expensive, but it's not a bad play if you could swing it.
I haven't looked in about 2 days now. Now I'm going to be a disaster because I'm going to see that boardwalk contract come up, and that's going to be it. That's the one I want for sleeper on points.
There are, because I have emails still set up, so I get emails every time basically a December contract comes up that's under $15,000 total, and there's some very interesting ones coming up. A lot of Bay Lake Towers are coming up.
See, that site's like your crack dealer parts. Like you've been clean.
Yeah.
You went to rehab, you've been clean, and now your freaking deal is at your front door knocking on the door.
Yeah, exactly. I get an email.
You can't, you shouldn't, but you so want to, don't you?
Yeah. Bay Lake Tower, I think, was like $140 a point.
These are all resorts that you never even thought about. Now you're thinking, I mean.
Well, I get them in the inbox.
I know.
It's not good. It's not. Well, it's very good, but it's dangerous. Anyway, let's move on to food. The most overlooked DVC resort restaurants.
Yes.
Now, what's your definition of overlooked?
My definition of overlooked is you'll see some examples, but one is like, oh, this place is so much better, and you're like,
So, like, basically non-cheerleader joints.
that is correct. But although
Okay.
I might have one that is kind of a cheerleader joint.
I understand that. Like,
You
there's
follow?
like not talked about it doesn't necessarily have to be underrated, is what you're saying.
Sure.
Because overlooked means it's just not talked about at all. Underrated means that people think it's not as good as it is.
Correct. Like, I'll give you a perfect example is the Grand Floridian Cafe. 5 years ago, that was very overlooked. And
Yes.
then when they closed 1900 Park Fair, and that was the only game in town for morning and afternoons, that place was jamming. Now that 1900 reopened a year ago, maybe some of that traffic will start going back to 1900 and you'll be able to get a seat. But that I thought that was a very, very underrated, overlooked restaurant back in the day.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I would give an example. I'll try to think of something that's not in the All right, here's one because this is the Epcot. An example for me for an overlooked restaurant, I would say, is like Garden Grill. I think when people talk about it, they don't underrate it. They say it's very good, which it is, but you don't hear people recommending it a lot.
That is true.
So I would call that overlooked,
Very overlooked
but
because
not
we had
underrated. I think it's rated
no.
properly. Everyone who goes there
Sure.
really enjoys it.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. That's in my mind. That's how I looked at it. It wasn't necessarily that they're underrated, just that people don't
Yep.
talk about them as much as I think they should. All
That
right,
is
with that
fair.
being said,
Mhm.
it could still be underrated, and I'll
Sure.
mention that on any of mine. If I think they're also underrated, I will make sure to bring that up. Would you like to hear my my number 5?
Yeah, let's go.
We're gonna go to the original DVC resort. And
The
we're going
OG.
to Olivia's Cafe.
Okay.
I think it's overlooked. I think it's great because it has brunch every day, and the breakfast or brunch menu is super solid, and the dinner menu is great. I've eaten there once for each meal, and I thoroughly enjoyed it both times. I think it's overlooked because people aren't going to go there unless you're
It's
staying
out of
there
the
for the
way.
most part, but I would definitely consider it overlooked. I don't think it's underrated, though. I think a lot of people that go there do enjoy it, and it gets pretty good reviews most of the
Mhm.
time, but I definitely think it's overlooked. I would say if I'm staying at Saratoga Springs for a longer trip, it would be on my radar for one of
Yeah.
the days. I'd be willing to take the walk or get on a boat or however you gotta do it to get over there to at least have a meal there. Plus, I like walking around that area at
I
Old
do
Key
too.
West. As much as you and I think Saratoga is better than Old Key West, in our opinion, I like that center town area of Old Key West with the
I
gift
love it.
shop, the gurgling suitcase, the
They have
boats coming in and out.
so many activities over there behind the pool.
Mhm.
They've got hammocks and seating areas where you can have your lunch if you wanna grab, some lunch from that quick service over by the gurgling suitcase. They've
Oh,
got tennis
food and
courts.
goods to go or
So
good food
much.
to go. Yeah.
They have shuffleboard, which would make sense. Just a lot of
Mhm.
activities over there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. There's a lot of hustle and bustle too. I like that it's not, like, crowded where you can't walk around, but there's always people there hanging out.
I I had that. I'll put it at number 5. I had
Okay.
that as well. I remember the first time we went, we took your sister. It was a Typhoon Lagoon day.
Oh, that's right.
Back when
That's
she
when
was
Scott
living here.
Campbell, like, passed out, right?
No, that was a different time.
Oh, okay.
That was a different time. We just went with your sister, and we both got that chicken, that boneless chicken breast that's
Oh, the
fried with mashed
southernmost
potatoes.
chicken, fried chicken, yeah.
Yeah. And I just think it's a place that any place that you and I are gonna like, your sister and your dad are gonna like those are the types of places that we all like to eat at.
Oh, it's definitely a crowd pleaser. It's not
Yeah,
like
because
it's
they've
not a
got
foodie place necessarily.
but
It's
they've
kind
got
of
some good
comfort
fish
food.
dishes. I think they might have a prime rib, and then they just got a lot of good dishes, and their brunch is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, I have the brunch menu up right now. You could get uh, shrimp cocktail, soup of the day, hush puppies, a fruit plate, and conch fritters, which is like clam cakes almost.
Yes. I
And then
think
you're on.
didn't Mike get that as a when we went there real quick after our golf day and we were gonna eat that night?
As a matter of fact,
I think
I
we were
got
going to
that.
Shula's. Was that you then who got the conch fritters?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
some. I think I got chowder and fritters
Yep.
for lunch. Um, Entrees, they have this is the brunch. You can get banana bread French toast. You can get the fried chicken we were just talking about, a seared salmon salad, Caesar salad, bacon jam cheeseburger, sombrero beach omelet, Olivia's breakfast, 2 eggs any style,
Yeah.
potatoes, buttermilk biscuit served with choice of bacon or sausage, Papa's hash, Mark Papa's hash, potatoes, spinach, plant-based sausage, plant-based frittata, and tomatoes for $16, buttermilk pancakes and eggs, blackened mahi tacos, crab cakes, egg benedict. Like, it's a perfect that's like an 11:30 Sunday morning. Half the people want breakfast, half the people want lunch. It's perfect.
And you know what else that's good? If you rope drop like I've been doing now, and then you wanna get back as soon as the crowd started about 10:30, head back at 10:30, get there, and get, like, one of the last seatings for brunch, and then you're good to go
Yeah.
for the day. You go back to the room, change, put your bathing suit on, and then head over the pool for the afternoon.
Yeah, they give you a lot of food too.
They really do. Because I remember we ordered a couple things when we went there for breakfast, and you couldn't finish it. I think you
Right.
got, like, biscuits and gravy and an entree,
Yeah, because
and I had
one
to
of them
bring
was
a
an
lot of it
appetizer and it
home.
was a lot. Yeah. Now their dinner so they used to have basically that same menu, a lot
Yeah.
of the same stuff for dinner, but their dinner menu is actually, pretty interesting. They have a slow-cooked prime rib with garlic mashed potatoes and broccolini for $39.
Yeah, that sounds good.
A mojo brined pork with butter poached potatoes, savory puree, and mustard gastrique for $32. They have a mahi mahi for $33. That comes with potatoes, corn, succotash, chorizo, citrus butter, and corn silk. They have the chicken, the southernmost buttermilk chicken. They have the bacon jam cheeseburger, shrimp and grits, cheesy grits, Creole sauce, and andouille sausage. And then they have Captain Wahoo's catch of the day, so a fresh fish uh, that rotates. So you really, the nice thing too, if you're staying at Old Key West, you can go
Oh, yeah.
for brunch and dinner, and you're not limited to the same offerings. There's plenty of different offerings for both as well, which I really like. Because some of the sit downs at um, the resorts, the lunch and dinners are identical, and if you're staying there, it can become pretty stale pretty quick. But when they change them up, it's nice.
Agreed.
So that was your number 5 as well,
Yeah.
or was close enough that
Yeah, it
we're
was
gonna
close
pick that?
enough. I had it
All
in
right,
my
why don't you give me your number 4?
I'll give you my number 4 is gonna be Trattoria Al Forno over at the
Oh,
boardwalk.
okay.
This
That was
has
my
a
number 3, by the
that
way.
has a phenomenal breakfast and a phenomenal dinner. One of the best steak and eggs I've had. I had a swordfish. She had the, what did she have? She had the, Richard Villasabuco
Mm,
Patino.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Um, I like it better. I shouldn't say I like it better now that it's not a character breakfast because I never went when it was a character breakfast, but
Yeah.
it's a good and it's chill. I always like the open kitchens, watching the chefs cook, and you're not in and out rush. There's nothing worse than the in and out rush at some of these Disney restaurants.
It's a nice restaurant.
It really is.
It's a nice atmosphere in there. I like it quite a bit.
It's connected to the bar, so you can sit in a bar
Mhm.
prior to dinner and have a drink over at the Abracadab bar, which Susie absolutely loves. That's one of her favorite bars on property. But
Yeah, I mean, they have the
It's
oak
good.
grilled steak and eggs for $21.
How's that for a price point?
That's pretty good. Sunny side up eggs, breakfast potatoes, crispy onions, and hollandaise sauce. Sunrise breakfast pizza for $14. It's a pizza with scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, bell peppers, and cheese on top. Buttermilk pancakes with seasonal compote for $15. And this sounds good. Tiramisu bread pudding, $17. I like tiramisu. Do you like that?
I do, yes.
Mascarpone cream and espresso drizzle served with choice of bacon or sausage. So a bread pudding made out of tiramisu. That's fantastic. They also have a caprese omelet.
That's what Susie had.
Mozzarella, ripened tomatoes, fresh basil, and breakfast potatoes served with bacon or sausage. Al Forno eggs. This sounds fantastic for $17. Brick oven roasted cage-free eggs, polenta, fennel sausage, spiced tomato sauce, and country bread. That sounds so good. And then you can just get 2 eggs with potatoes and bacon for $16. They have avocado toast. They have a fruit plate. They have a frittata. So there's some good options on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then dinner. We did dinner there over the summer, and we really liked it. We got some calamari, which was good.
Was it good? Because
Yeah.
I'm a big calamari guy. Was it kind of like Rhode Island, or was it more of the
Yes.
marinara?
Nope. It had the lemon aioli and the pepper.
Yeah, the garlic lemon aioli. Yep.
I had the steak, oak grilled strip steak Florentine,
Oh,
which was
I
pretty
love
good.
steak Florentine.
It was pretty good. And I think Sarah got the truffle gnocchi, which was highly recommended by Angry Newfield Jr., and she really enjoyed that.
Was it good?
It was. I had a bite. It was very good.
She a gnocchi fan?
Yeah, she'll get that a lot.
Then
Yeah.
if you guys ever get a stay at Topolino's, you have to do that lamb gnocchi. Oh.
Okay. I mean, they have pizzas, and you could see that open kitchen. They're cooking those pizzas up right there.
Yep.
A lot of good stuff. That's a good underrated, definitely overlooked restaurant. So.
Now, that wouldn't be a bad play if you could go to the Abracadabra, see if you can get one of those pizzas to go.
Ooh.
Like we talked about last week, depending on how stressed the kitchen is. So instead of going to Boardwalk Pizza, go over there, get a cocktail, and then order one of those pizzas to go. What are the price points on those pizzas? Do you still have that menu?
I just closed it out because I'm looking up Abracadabra, but they were like $22, $23.
Okay.
Does Abracadabra offer any food?
Not that I remember.
No,
but
they do. They have a couple things. Banh mi sliders, lump crab fries, and cheese plate. So
Okay.
that's all they have there. Just a couple things. So they may not, since they have a little menu, they might not. But hey, it never hurts to ask.
Never hurts to ask, does it?
I'll make that my number 4. We'll stick together on that one.
All right, that's fair.
So my number 3, I don't know if this one's going to be on your list. It might be because we're very similar. It's a place I talk about. I think it's overlooked and underrated, and it is at my home resort, Turf Club. I like the Turf Club. I think it's obviously overlooked.
Yeah.
No one goes there.
I had this as my number 1, actually, because I just think this is way overlooked and way underrated, and people still poo-poo over this place, even though they've changed their executive chef. I believe the chef now came from, I want to say Flying Fish. I might be incorrect, but came from a really good Disney restaurant. You were there recently. You said it was fantastic.
Yeah, the prime rib was so good.
One of our guests that come on the show often, Joe Quattrochi, loves this place.
It's fantastic. You can get an artichoke cake for an appetizer, French onion soup, sweet and spicy Brussels sprouts. That sounds interesting. A wedge salad, your favorite.
I love wedge salads. That's correct. Cheese
and charcuterie plate, $23. Fried calamari for $18. And some yellowfin ahi tuna for $19. That's like a raw tuna appetizer. I know it's not up your alley usually, but I like that. Entrees, that slow roasted prime rib, $39. With creamy roasted garlic, mashed potatoes, seasonal vegetables, and a red wine reduction. It was so good. I'm telling you, I think about that prime rib on like a weekly basis.
And you're not as big of a prime rib guy as I am.
No.
And it was a generous portion too?
Oh, it was so much. It was good. It was fantastic. There's a lemon pepper salmon with a sweet corn vegetable saute, quinoa, and local greens for $36. That sounds pretty good. A char-grilled New York strip for $39 with French fries. So that's like steak frites.
Little steak frites.
I'm
watching a lot of those videos over the past couple nights.
A grilled pork chop for $33 comes with cannelli beans, kale, bacon, and sherry vinaigrette. Tempura fried hen of the wood mushroom with seared tofu, Epcot Land Pavilion vegetable fricassee for $26. That's a plant-based entree. Now, this sounds like this would be right up Susie's alley. A pappardelle scallop pasta for $35.
Yeah.
Caramelized scallops, asparagus, and truffle sauce. Buttermilk fried herb chicken, $29. And the Turf Club burger, which is supposed to be really good. Signature patty blend, crispy pork belly, New York white cheddar, and onion rings. $23.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Doesn't that sound good after a round at the at the golf course there?
Yeah, like we've said, it's too bad that they don't do small plates in the afternoon for your post round.
Yeah. I mean, they could literally just do burgers and pizzas.
Pizzas, exactly.
And make it a to-go almost, like a grab and go.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you don't even really need service, but you could open up the patio and have people. I mean, how many times you have an entree, you have a burger or a chicken sandwich or something simple, and then you all split a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Have a piece or two of the pizza, have an entree with fries, and you're good to go. Or some, a couple of easy salads.
Yes, absolutely. So that's my number 3, and you had it as your number 1.
I had it as my number 1. That's correct. So we're 3
all
for
over the
3
place.
right now. I think we're gonna go off the ledge now.
It's possible. The next one on my list is Kona Cafe.
Wow.
We're still simpatico here?
No, but it was on my list. It's an honorable mention.
Okay.
Because it is the ugly stepchild of Ohana, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
It is so pure. You and I both would rather go to Kona than Ohana.
100%.
They have a great breakfast. We go for lunch. I swear to God that those
the dumpling, right?
The dumplings, they're so good, and they're big plate size, so you have to split it. Just break it with your fork, dip it in the sauce. Oh, they're so good.
Crispy pork and vegetable pot sticker, $13 for an appetizer at lunch. Glazed chicken wings with sticky mirin and teriyaki wing sauce.
I've had those.
They have soup. I don't know what the soups are. Seasonal soup. Sushi rolls. I love that. Rainbow roll, spicy tuna roll, California roll. All different kinds. They're all anywhere from $16 to $25. Poke bowls, which are fantastic. I like those. I'm starting to get into that. A rainbow poke bowl. Tuna, salmon, shrimp, hamachi, Fresno chili peppers, lotus root, and spicy ponzu, $25. Dashi bowls, which is a broth. So you got a pork belly noodle bowl, $28. Bone broth, rice noodles, soy, egg, mushrooms, bok choy, hot sesame oil, and sake. Entrees. Kona stir-fried chicken, stir-fried tofu, stir-fry with shrimp. We have a salmon. We have a teriyaki steak salad for $25 and a Hawaiian Reuben for $20. This is new, I think. I don't remember seeing this before. How does this sound? Corned beef, pulled pork, kimchi, Swiss cheese, marble rye, and spicy mayonnaise, $20. Hawaiian Reuben. That sounds fantastic. They have a big kahuna burger, which is sauteed pastrami, corned beef, pepper jack, mustard aioli, tangy cucumber on a brioche bun served with French fries. So it's a burger made out of pastrami parts.
Oh.
That's messed up, isn't it?
Yes.
A turkey banh mi, marinated turkey breast, black pepper bacon, pork pate, cilantro, jalapeno, onions, grilled jalapeno mayonnaise, and French fries, $19. That's fantastic. Good options for lunch there. Breakfast, everyone talks about their breakfast. You know what it is. It's good.
Yep.
And one of the things that I think gets overlooked a lot is how gorgeous that is, especially with the refurb they did on it.
Beautiful.
It's a gorgeous restaurant.
And we love that. We love that place first thing in the morning when the sun's coming up and you just have that open lobby with the glass on the ceiling.
For dinner, they have a few different options. Kona braised short rib with a Kona coffee red wine mocha sauce, carrot ginger puree, peanuts, and bok choy, $40. Pork chop for $33. Asian marinated chicken for $27. New York strip steak with coconut curry potatoes, snap peas, grape tomatoes, shallots, edamame, mirin teriyaki chimichurri sauce for $41. Again, they have the Big Kahuna burger, a lot of the same things. Appetizers are the same. Sushi rolls are there. A lot of good options there. And you'll have to get up at 6 a.m. 60 days before to get your Ohana, where you could probably roll up the morning of and get a dinner at Kona.
Can't tell you how many times we were at the Grand Floridian and we couldn't get into the cafe and we just went up there, just did one of those last minutes on the app.
Yeah, that's a place I need to go back to soon. I've never had lunch or dinner there, and every time I look at it, it looks so good.
You always just do breakfast?
Yeah. So what's next on your list, Pards?
I believe this would kind of be toward number 2, or there's Citrico's over at the Grand Floridian.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
This is every time I go to Narcoossee's, which is one of the gold standards on property, I go to Citrico's and I'm like, this might be just as good as Narcoossee's. It's just,
yeah.
I just like that Mediterranean. They have a lot of great entrees. I think I got a soup the last time I was there that was fantastic. Yeah, I think it was the sweet corn bisque. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I think I got the cobia. Yeah, that's what I got too the last time I was there, was a cobia, which is a fantastic white. Yeah, just a great white fish. Now, you guys were there on your honeymoon, correct?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but we did go, yes. We liked it. We liked it quite a bit. I would go there again.
Yeah, it's super chill, and I love the refurb. They did the Mary Poppins refurb, and it's very subtle, and they did a great job. They really did a good job with all their refurbishments over there, because when they were talking about it, I was terrified. I thought their new bar was going to be tacky, and they did a great job with Citrico's.
Yeah, when you hear like we're retheming our signature restaurant to Mary Poppins, you start having chest pains.
Just because after what they did at the Contemporary, and I know I harp on it, you got to be a little bit concerned every time they do a refurbishment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Citrico's definitely overlooked. I think it's a place that never comes on my radar. You think signature at the Grand, you're always thinking Narcoossee first.
Yes, you are.
And it's justified. Narcoossee is great, and people love it.
It's fantastic. I love it.
But don't sleep on Citrico's.
It's very Rhode Island. That's why Phil loves it. I love it. You haven't been in a while, but you liked it because it's seafood heavy with some good steaks, which is like your classic restaurant you're gonna find in South County and Newport. So obviously that didn't make your list.
No, it was not on my list. I'm looking at the menu here though, and there's some good stuff. Guava barbecued short ribs with aged cheddar creamy grits, roasted poblano, curtido slaw, and Brussels sprouts for $54.
And that's what she got.
Oak grill filet mignon for $62. The cobia that you got. They also have a domestic sustainable fish, which I don't know if that's tilapia or something like that, but it comes with a Jupiter rice chorizo risotto, Key West pink shrimp, and confit tomatoes.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. roulade of chicken with creamy charred corn, orange glazed hush puppies, Chardonnay mushroom chicken jus, and seasonal vegetables. Everything sounds good on there.
Yeah, it does.
The appetizers are very, very fancy. You can get caviar for $120 for an ounce.
I'm going to pass on that.
Braised pork belly,
Yep.
yuzu soy roasted duck breast appetizer with braised duck dumplings, butternut tonksu, soy quail eggs, and sesame aioli. That's very highfalutin, isn't it?
Now you like duck, correct?
I do enjoy duck. I would get that.
All
That's
right, so let me ask you a question. This is off topic, but
Mm-hmm.
would you ever have duck confit?
I've had it before. It's fantastic.
Okay, because Alex said he would have it, and we were investigating going to France in 2026,
Yeah.
and that's one of their big signature dishes. Did you have it out?
What do you mean? Yeah, we went to a restaurant. I forget where.
But it's
And
crispy on the outside and very like tender, and it's good, huh?
so when we went, I can't remember the restaurant, but where we went, it was called Duck Three Ways. So I had like a duck breast, duck confit, and I forget the third way it was prepared. And the duck confit was like the duck leg, and they basically poach it in its own fat.
Yes,
So
that's correct.
like it absorbs all the duck fat, and then they like sear it so it gets nice and crispy. It was fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I know that you've had duck before. I just wasn't sure if you have ever had the confit.
I have, yeah, it's good. So that should be the last one on your list if I'm doing the math correctly, right? Because you already said your number one.
I still have one more, parts.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I only have one more. And it's my number one. But you already did your number one. So what did we miss for you?
I did Old Key West.
Yep.
I did Grand Floridian.
Mm-hmm.
I did Saratoga Springs.
Wait, you didn't do what are you talking about?
Yeah, Grand Floridian. I said Citrus Coast.
Okay, yep.
I had Saratoga Springs,
Yes. El Forno.
and I had Boardwalk. So that's 4.
Okay. So what's your last one?
My last one is Wind and Waves Grill over at Vero Beach.
Oh, Vero Beach.
Vero Beach. I'm throwing a little slider here.
Okay.
I have been here a number of times. You can always get a seat. The food's fantastic. The food is cheap. They usually have, when we were there this past summer, they have a pizza of the day, and you can get that outside at their bar, and that's reasonably priced. The pricing there is fantastic because they're competing. Everybody there has a car. You're not
Right.
taking the Magical Express down there. So if you're doing a split stay, obviously the only way you're going to get there is to rent a car. So everybody has a car, and guess what everybody wants to do? They want to go off campus. And they
Sure.
want to explore Vero Beach and the surrounding areas and get some decent food. So they compete on price. So you're not getting that bubble pricing that you get
That's
at
true.
Walt Disney World. And the food is, we've been there for breakfast and a couple of dinners, and we had the pizza, like I said, out at the bar. And it's been great every time we've been there.
And it's actually a character breakfast.
It
Now,
is.
I don't know if
is
it was
now.
when you
Yeah,
went.
when we went, it was after COVID, and it wasn't. And I think they had it like in a separate room, if I
Okay.
remember. So
Yeah, they do a character breakfast and then the regular sit down. And the Wind
and
and
I think
Waves,
the
that's what they
character's
call
only
it.
one- I think the character is actually only 1 or 2 days a week. I think it's only on the weekends
Oh, okay.
because they did have
Yeah,
one.
you're right. It's
when
only
we were
on
there.
Saturdays.
Okay, so it is just one day. It's Saturdays. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Wind and Waves also is the name of the quick serve there.
The
as
quick
well.
service, which is right next door.
Yeah.
And again, that has a great menu too. Fantastic fish tacos. Yeah, the food and beverage there is fantastic, and that place
Really
gets
good. Yeah.
destroyed.
The
Destroyed.
food itself, or just in general, Vero?
Just well, the food itself, better. You can get like, I don't know. I sometimes I'm a pain in the butt when it comes to food, and I've never had a bad meal there.
Yeah. That's a good one. I wasn't thinking that for sure.
Yeah, because you haven't
But
been to any other properties.
no, I haven't. No, I haven't. But a place I think is overlooked. I don't think it's underrated, but I think it's overlooked, especially when you talk about signature, is Jico, and that's my number one
That was
honorable mention.
also there, yes.
Because even at Animal Kingdom, it's probably
Yes.
the third most talked about. Everyone says, "Oh, Sanaa, Sanaa," which I
Yeah.
like,
It's
and
fine.
Boma,
Yeah.
which I really like,
Yeah,
but the Jico's, like, always kinda coming in under the radar,
it is. Yeah,
and
because
it's
exactly what you said, Jico is not popular for guests there, let alone nobody's ever gonna go over there
for the most part.
for the
Yes, I
most part. If you're staying at the Contemporary, you're not going over there.
I think
And
the issue with Jico is that Animal Kingdom Lodge is a very family-oriented hotel. It's super kid-friendly with the
yeah, it's a
animals.
Polynesian. Yeah, it's a Polynesian resort, yes.
So, then to have a very upscale signature there, you're not going to get as much traffic because it's not like a honeymoon place, it's not a couple's retreat as
That's
much as
fair.
other places are.
I agree with you.
So, with that being said, I think that's why, and people aren't really willing to venture outside their comfort zones as much, and this is a very outside the comfort zone. You're not finding a place like this in every city, in every, like, major city in America. You know what I
You're
mean?
right.
Like, there's like, Boston, New York probably have similar places, but,
Sure. Yeah, a lot of big cities, but
Los Angeles, Chicago, but if you go to, you know,
Des Moines,
even
Iowa, or
like, Providence or
Kansas City, yeah.
Baltimore, places like that aren't necessarily gonna have an African Indian fusion fancy restaurant
And you
necessarily.
like that type of food to begin with.
I do, I like, trying different things like that, and those flavor profiles are very much right up my alley. And, I mean, speak of duck confit, they have a duck confit appetizer, preserved duck on a honey raisin flatbread, toasted chickpeas, mozzarella, so it's like a duck confit pizza.
Yeah.
The wild boar tenderloin appetizer. They have dumplings,
We
Sakuma
gotta
Wiki dumplings with cashew cheese, pickled vegetables, and demi-sec tomatoes for $16.
I don't know if it's still on the menu. We got, like, a mushroom pizza that was ridiculous. It was a mushroom flatbread.
Oh, I wonder that's not on there right now, but I wonder if it's seasonal depending
Could be.
on
That
the
was
time of
so
the year.
good, so good.
I mean, they always have the filet, the oak grill
With the
filet.
risotto, right?
Yes.
Yep,
Uh,
that's their signature. I
it
got that
actually comes with a
watching over.
4-cheese macaroni and cheese now instead of risotto, but
Oh,
same
okay.
seared venison loin, peri-peri chicken, Moroccan spice lamb shank, roasted halibut, Botswanan short rib, seafood tangine. That sounds good. Saffron scented couscous with octopus, shrimp, Prince Edward Island mussels for $53.
Yeah, that does sound good.
Spiced carrot soup. Not my favorite, but a good soup on the menu is always a good option.
Corn soup was the best thing I ever had there.
From
I
there,
don't think
yeah.
they have that anymore. Yeah, it was one of those where they brought it to your table and then poured the broth over it.
Yeah.
Oh, like they do over at Rosa Mexicano. Oh, so good, so
Well, the
good.
nice thing about Jico and all the signatures for that matter is they change the menus all
Yeah,
the
they
time.
do. Yeah, they do, and they source most of their ingredients locally.
They'll have a couple signatures that are always on there, what they're known for. But
Sure.
reading this menu now doesn't really do you a lot of good if you're going in 3 months because it could be completely different
Yeah.
than what we're looking at.
Yep, exactly.
Whereas like Tony's Town Square and Mama Melrose, they have the same menu 365 days a year. Although Mama Melrose, rest in peace, that's going
Oh,
away.
I know. God rest her soul. Huh.
Frank and Sue went there when they went in January one
Did
last
they?
time. Yeah, they had dinner there.
That's so sad. They're just gonna I mean, they ruined that place years ago. They're just gonna continue with that nonsense.
Just keep digging dirt on it. Yeah. Yeah, so I had for a couple of my honorable mentions, I had the Grand Floridian Cafe
Mhm.
and 1900, as a matter of fact,
I
because I
think
think that doesn't get
1900 is overlooked because Chef Mickey's.
yes. and Ohana, like as
And
far as
Ohana
like
breakfast. You're right. You're exactly right.
right on the monorail. So those are the only honorable mentions I had, and then it looked like I knocked out a couple of yours with Jico and Kona.
Yeah.
A couple of your honorable
Yeah,
mentions.
those were my
So,
honorable mentions.
a lot of good restaurants at the DVCs.
There are, aren't there?
I think that's Beach Club's biggest downfall, though.
Yeah, I mean, they have nothing.
Like Cape May's, okay.
Cape May's okay, and then everything else is technically over at Yacht Club.
No, because the Beaches and Cream is Beach Club.
Beaches
believe
Claim
that-
is, yeah, but I'm talking Ale and Compass and
Right.
Yachtsman Steakhouse is at the Yachtsman. I mean, there's no,
True.
I mean, I don't think a hamburger and ice cream place is, that's like basically your only sit down.
Yeah, that's
Other than
true.
a buffet. So
Yeah.
again, it's probably because of Epcot.
Yeah, I mean, people don't complain about it because it's so close to Epcot and you have proximity to a lot of stuff, but it misses the mark on some things for sure.
Yeah,
But it doesn't have to. I mean,
no, because you can walk right next
of course.
door
Yeah,
over
of
to
course.
Yachtsman, but no quick service, no real good sit down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a fault. No, we didn't mention anything about Wilderness Lodge either.
No, because it's kind of meh.
I think their places are properly rated and maybe overrated.
Yeah. Artist Point,
Point.
you said was okay, but you
was
probably
okay.
wouldn't go back.
Whispering Canyon, I'm kind of over that place for a while.
That's like a once every 5 years. If if we're all in town the same time and we want to do a group, then that's fine. But that's not a place that Chris and I are going to seek out when we're on property.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Again, contemporary. I think Steakhouse 71 and California Grill are both properly rated.
Yeah. I think Steakhouse 71 in another year or two may get on that list because it's another place that you can get into easily.
Yeah,
And I think the food for what you get, the bang for the buck, I think the food's fantastic. Great breakfast, great lunch, great dinner.
yeah.
I mean, we're pretty much in agreement.
All right. Well, then bring us home, Parts.
All right, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at DVC Addicts. Email the show info@addictedtodvc.com and join our Facebook group, DVC Addicts. For my cousin and co-host Gary in Rhode Island, I'm Mike in Florida. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. We want to hear from you. Email us at info@addictedtodvc.com and follow us on all socials at DVC Addicts. We appreciate you being a part of our DVC community, and we'll see you again on our next episode. Thanks again for listening, and welcome home.